So bottom line, I'm filing the restraining order against Neil Preston for multiple reasons. Number one, I'm not going to be telling Cousy or the Vermont Judiciary, who was working with Cousy and DOJ special prosecutors and the Chittenden County Sheriff. Cousy stands for Chittenden Unit for Special Investigations, aka Special Victims Unit. SDNY and Alvin Bragg. I'm not telling them anything they don't know. They know more than I do. What this restraining order does, since they're leaving me out here with no sequestration and no formal on the records victims advocates, and letting Neil Preston continue to come out there and threaten me. The fact that he's still a park ranger is a threat, because if he were to be truthful with the ongoing criminal investigation, that would mean he would resign. He's basically pulling a Donald Trump, a Joe Biden, a Kamala Harris, Eric Adams, Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown. Fuck you, fuck your investigation. I'm going to stay in my job, and I'm not going to self-report, and I'm going to continue my role in sex trafficking, drug trafficking, murdering witnesses, and murdering whistleblowers, and threatening all the special prosecutors and their investigators and their witnesses and our victims. With Peter Santinello, with the dumb broad he had on his channel that was running her mouth, giving everybody's HIPAA-protected information in real time when she's not a licensed professional, which means the licensed professionals, either peace officers and or doctors, were telling her. Either way, HIPAA violations are a felony. So what this does is this gives me a license to kill. You're using my special forces training to assist you in your ongoing criminal investigation, fine. But the first priority for any military trained personnel is self-defense, period. Because guess what? You can't gather intel and carry out your orders if you're dead or injured or whatever. That's a double-edged sword. I understand what you're doing, but I also understand that most of you aren't military. Some of you are, and what your military assistants at the JAG Corps who are working with you can explain to you, yeah, you're right. Self-defense, I don't just lay down and let anybody hurt me, rape me, and when he comes out to my camp, he is committing rape and murder. Well, he's a park ranger. That's his jurisdiction. He's a park ranger because he's lying. He's a park ranger because he's doubling down and doing the same thing his partners in crime, Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown, Mayor Eric Adams, and his entire administration, and Donald Trump and Hunter Biden, they're all just doubling down and charging forward and saying, fuck it, if we go down, everybody goes down with us. And not to hang you. Fuck it. If I can't, since if I quit the war, I'm going to face criminal charges and shit. Well, fuck it. I'll just go ahead and go ahead and blow Gaza up and rape Palestinian prisoners and children. And, it's basically what they think is going down in a blaze of glory, and it's really just a blaze of stupidity. They're fucked either way, and they know it. So when he's coming out to my camp, I'm just coming out there to see if you're still utilizing the space. The bitch has me, he's part of the 24/7 surveillance. He knows I'm still out there because he's not doing his fucking job. He took a report from me, both in writing via email that was CC'd to Cousy and the mayor, the old mayor and the new mayor, and the old sheriff and the new sheriff, and whoever else was on that chain, that this was a domestic violence, whistleblower retaliation, and human and drug trafficking situation. He was and that Cousy was already investigating. He should have said, what can I do to help? Instead, he lied to them, lied to me, and then continued to try to steer me this way, steer me that way. So the very fact that he has a job as a park ranger is a threat, because it means he's not telling the truth. It means he's lying. That means he's murdering and raping me under Title IX. You think I'm going to lay down for that? No. I have 2 cans of mace attached to my backpack. I have 12 confirmed kills. I have cut the penises and testicles off of 12 men, shoved it in their mouth while they were tied to trees. They screamed as much as they could until their tiny little white peckers and testicles were shoved down in their mouth. And then I put a bullet through their head. This was the mid-'80s. I was a juvenile. And guess what? There ain't shit anybody can do about it, because my father and I were under direct attack as the lead investigators in the JFK and RFK assassinations. We were gathering our evidence, submitting it to the FBI like we were supposed to, and instead of getting help, we just got, he wasn't sexually abused. They came after me, but they blamed it on him, and the whole family was just destroyed. Until I finally got their fucking attention by setting the house on fire, and then they started having actual conversations with me. At this point, yes, Bobby Jr. is now on it, and we now have special prosecutors, but you're still just dangling us out here as bait, wanting to use our military skills to assist you in your investigations, but think we're not supposed to defend ourselves, which is the number one, that's the first fucking thing the military teaches you, is self-defense. So what you're doing is giving us a license to kill. At this point, when Mr. Preston is out there threatening me, he's threatening all my guardian angels that nobody can see. Not JAG-Corps, not Kuzi, not anybody. They're real fucking spooks. They will kill Mr. Preston before they let Mr. Preston take him to prison. Mr. Preston works for my father. That means Mr. Preston also works on behalf of a bunch of corrupt military personnel. They will fucking kill him, and doesn't mean they'll do it directly. They'll pull somebody from somewhere else and say, I got this guy that's, he's this, and this. Mr. Preston is, next thing you know, he's died in a car accident or got high and fell off of a 3-story balcony while he was on vacation in, where the fuck was that? Argentina? He'll get drunk and die in a car accident. My father's a cop. Mr. Preston works for Burlington PD and South Burlington PD. They'll be the ones investigating his accident or his overdose. Him and his partner and their partners in crime at University of Vermont, including the corrupt medical examiner. So what you need to do, Miss Mayor and Sarah Georges, you better give him an ultimatum. You either better fire him or give him the option to resign. Because at this point, he's implicated so many people that I've had to file a restraining order against all of them. And I'm going to send this return receipt requested to the Vermont Judiciary, which means it's going to be in our Florida civil action. And I don't worship anybody. My oath is to God and country. I don't give a fuck about no politicians, no civil rights activists. My self-defense comes first, especially since I swore an oath to protect all of Chad's clients, which at this point, that means he's victimizing everybody. And all these kids are getting abducted by Mr. Preston and his partners in crime, by doctors who make false criminal allegations against the parents, send the children to foster care, where the kids are then treated like criminals themselves, forced to take unnecessary psychiatric drugs. And if they don't comply with whatever program, they get sent to some juvenile facility. Now they're listed as criminals. Now they end up just like their parents. Trying to cope using drugs or alcohol, and then it's just hospitals are the new ovens, along with the police department are the new SS, which actually the Nazis and the Nazi SS were inspired by the Jim Crow policies of the U.S. I mean, let's keep it real. Calling these motherfuckers Nazis isn't really accurate. The Nazis were just Jim Crow Klan, but they just called themselves Nazis because they were in Germany. And instead of doing things the slow, methodical, lucrative final solutions like what they're doing through hospitals with the unbundling and upcoding, or what's called patient steering and patient farming, they still took their gold teeth out and cut all their hair off and sold it to make wigs. I mean, they still profited from what they did. They just didn't profit from killing those Jews the same way they're doing it to everybody. And it is Republican or Democrat. They're forcing women to get pregnant, forcing them to give birth, and then they force them to have C-sections so they make $50,000 off the birth instead of $30,000 for natural childbirth. So all you Republicans who thinks it's okay to enslave women, guess what? That means you're women. And for you Republican women who want to talk all this shit about pro-life, that means your ass, when you get knocked up or your daughter gets knocked up with your grandchild, you or her or both are forced to have C-sections for the first birth and then every birth after that. And then the hospital comes, the insurance will say, oh, we're not going to pay for that. And then now they got to lien on your house. Now you're homeless on the streets. So be careful what you wish for. You thump that Bible, you reap what you sow. You sow enslavement, that's what you're going to reap. You sow impoverished, rape and poverty and hoarding of resources, that's what you're going to sow. What goes around comes around. Karma's a bitch. Say whatever phrase you want. It all boils down to the same thing. You get what you pay for. So anyway, this is my license to kill. So when Mr. Preston comes out there, I can mace him. I can have my way with the motherfucker. And there ain't shit anybody can do about it. Not any prosecutors, not any police, especially when I recorded the last time Burlington police rolled up while I was behind the church charging. He says, is anybody fucking with you out here? I said, yeah, Ranger Preston, but koozies all over this. So the police have already been notified.